Hi, I'm Cara Fraser. Welcome to today's class. Today's class will be very gentle. We'll be on the back and doing some tabletop and really some stretching and gentle movements. Sometimes it's nice to just have a nice gentle class, and it is really windy here today, so my hair might look a little crazy, but hopefully we can get through this and have a nice relaxing class. So if you have a strap available, it would be nice to have one today. But if you don't have a strap, you could use a towel or a blanket, anything that you can use to put around your foot in a reclined position to stretch the back of the leg. So you can probably find something around the house if you don't have a strap. So we'll start in Shavasana just flat on the back, feet hips distance apart, arms by the sides, palms facing up. And eyes closed. Just take a moment here, start to relax. Start to soften the body. Notice how it feels to be connected to the mat. And then draw attention to your breath. First, just notice how it feels. Notice the speed. Notice the depth. And as you draw this awareness to your breath, start to deepen it. So take a full inhale, expanding the belly and the lungs fully. Then exhale, let all the air out. Full deep inhale. Exhale it out. And just continue like this. Full deep breaths. Notice how the breath starts to slow down. As the breath slows down, notice what happens to the rest of the body. Maybe the muscles start to soften and relax a little more. And then hug the knees into the chest gently, and then just rock a little bit from side to side. Feeling a little massage in the back. And then come back to center. Take the palms of the hands, place them on top of the knees, and straighten the arms as you push the knees away from you. Heels are close to the butt here. And then just take the knees from side to side. Another little massage in the back. Maybe you feel it in the low back this time. And then come back to stillness in the center and starting some circles with the knees. So draw the knees in towards the chest. Take them away from each other. Push them away from you, and then draw the knees together. And just continuing like this. So if you were drawing circles on the ceiling with your knees, they could be slow or fast, they could be big or small. You're probably feeling some movement of the leg and the hip socket, which usually feels nice. And then take those circles the opposite direction. And then hug the knees into the chest. And extend the legs straight out onto the mat, arms by the sides. Inhale, take the arms out in front of you, up by the ears, palms facing each other, thumbs maybe come to the floor behind you. Exhale, bring the arms down by the sides. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, take them down by the sides. Inhale up, this time hold here. And walk the hands and the feet to the right side of the mat. I'm just gonna stand up for a quick second so you can see me. So the hands and the feet will be to the right side, getting a stretch in the left side body. So you're making like a banana shape with the body. If you like, you could cross the left ankle over the right ankle. Sometimes that feels like you can get a little more of a stretch. Just an option. If the ankles cross, then cross it. Take the hands and the feet over to the left side of the mat. Cross the right ankle over the left ankle. And then walk the hands and the feet back to center. Bring the arms down by the sides and hug the knees into the chest. From here, keep the right knee hugged in. Extend the left leg straight out onto the mat. Both feet flex, so keep that left leg active. Don't let it get kind of lazy here. And then just point and flex the right foot, so the foot of the bent leg. And then take some circles with that foot, getting some movement in the ankle. And take it the opposite direction. And then reflex that foot, bring the right arm out to a T. Take an inhale, and exhale, take the right leg over to the left for a twist. That left hand could rest on the outside of the right thigh, maybe helping you get a little more of a twist. And then the gaze can go towards the right hand or the ceiling, whatever feels good for your neck. You can keep the eyes closed, but just the direction of your head. And then come back up to center, hug that knee in, and keep the right hand on the shin. Left hand can come out to a T. Take an inhale, and on the exhale, just take the leg out to the right. The knee will stay bent. You're just getting a little external rotation of the leg and the hip socket. Couple breaths here. And then bring that leg back up to center, hug both knees into the chest. And keep that left knee hugged in, extend the right leg out. Remember, both feet flex, active right leg, and then point and flex the left foot. And take some circles with the foot. And take them the other way. And then reflex that foot, take the left arm out to a T, take an inhale. Exhale, take the leg to the right for the twist. Gaze towards the left hand or the ceiling. Then come back to center, hug that knee in. Keep the left hand on the left shin. Take the right arm out to a T. Take an inhale. And exhale, take that leg over to the left, getting that external rotation of the leg and the hip socket. Couple of breaths. And And then bring that leg back in, hug the knees into the chest. And drop the soles of the feet down to the mat. So feet are hips distance apart, ankles under knees. Arms by the sides, palms facing the mat. And inhale, press into the feet, lift the hips, low back, mid back for a bridge. Keep extending the tailbone to the back of the knees. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, slowly come up. Take the whole breath for the movement. Exhale, down. Inhale, come up. Keep space between the chin and the chest. And exhale, lower down. This time as you lift the hips, you could take the arms out in front of you up by the ears on the inhale. And exhale, drop the hips and the arms down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, lower. Last one, inhale up. And exhale, lower. Hug the knees into the chest. And then bring the feet down to the mat again. Take the right ankle over the left thigh for thread the needle. For some people, this may be enough, so you could keep the left foot down on the mat. Otherwise, draw the left thigh in towards the chest. You can grab behind the thigh or around the shin. Keep both feet flexed. And in the right leg, like we did earlier, try and get the rotation of the leg in the socket. So instead of pushing on the knee, try and get the motion from the hip here. If you want, you could take that right elbow, gently press on the inside of the right thigh. Just an option, always being gentle. And then uncross that ankle, bring the feet down to the mat. Cross the left ankle over the right thigh, either staying here with the right foot down or drawing that right thigh in. Both feet flexed. And then hug the knees into the chest and rock along the length of the spine a couple times till you have enough momentum to cross over the shins and come into tabletop. So here in tabletop, let's take some little circles just to get some stretches in the wrist. So take the shoulders gently forward to the front of the mat, and then take them over to the right, and then back to the left and forward. Really just finding the movement in the wrists here. Again, your speed, whatever size circles feels good. I tend to think this gentle movement feels really nice on the wrists. And then take the circles the other direction. Especially if you sit at a computer all day, which I used to do. So I used to find little stretches like this would feel really good after sitting at a desk all day. And then come back to stillness where the shoulders are over the wrist. This time, take the palm of the hand up and fingers will face the knee. So right hand first. And you can really control the intensity here. You decide what feels good and where you put the weight and the pressure. Don't ever do something that doesn't feel good. And then take that palm back to the mat. Take the other palm up, fingers towards the legs. And then take that palm back. tuck the toes under here, walk the hands back to the knees. So you can stay here with the palms of the hands on the mat. This is a little less intense. I prefer this personally. But some people can walk the hands back, lift the chest, put all the weight on the heels. For me, that's a little intense because I have some things going on with my feet. So I like the hands down, but you can try it and see what feels good for you. Just getting a stretch in the arch of the feet here. We don't really tend to take a lot of time to do that. So this sometimes feels nice. And then walk the hands back to table. Untuck the toes so the tops of the feet are on the mat. Inhale, pull the chest forward through the arms, look forward, keep lifting the belly up. Exhale, round the upper back, drop the head. Inhale, pull forward. Exhale, round. Inhale, forward. Exhale, round. Inhale, forward. This time on the exhale, take the hips back to the heels for child's pose. Inhale, come back to table, pull the chest forward, moving in and out of table in child's pose. Exhale to child's pose. Inhale to table, pull the chest forward. And exhale to child's pose. Now child's pose to down dog. So inhale, come up to table. Tuck the toes, lift the hips for downward facing dog. Exhale, drop the knees, sit the hips back, child's pose. Inhale to table, tuck the toes, lift the hips for down dog. Exhale, drop the knees, sit the hips back, child's pose. Inhale to table, tuck the toes, lift the hips for down dog. This time hold down dog. And inhale, come up onto the balls of the feet, lift the heels. Exhale, bend the knees, bring the chest towards the thighs. Inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, lower the heels. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, lower. Last time, inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, lower. And then drop the knees down to the mat for table. Sit the hips back to the heels, child's pose. Couple breaths. And inhale, come up to tabletop. And straighten the right leg. Keep the ball of the foot connected to the mat. And press that heel back towards the wall behind you or the back of the mat. So trying to get a stretch in the back of the leg. Don't let the belly drop here. So keep pressing into the hands. Draw the shoulder blades apart, lift the belly. So you're working the core here, even though you're also stretching the back of the leg. Try never to get lazy. Always sort of working in every pose, hugging the muscles in. And then inhale that leg up so it's parallel to the mat. Exhale, take the ball of the foot over to the left side of the mat. From here, look over the left shoulder towards that right foot. You probably get a stretch in the right side body. Inhale, lift that leg back up to center. Exhale, lower it down for table. And then extend the left leg, keep the ball of the foot on the mat. Keep lifting the belly, neutral spine. Press the heel towards the back of the mat. And keep the neck long, looking towards the front edge of the mat. Inhale, lift that leg up so it's parallel. Exhale, take it over to the right of the mat. Look over the right shoulder towards that foot. Inhale, bring that leg back up to center. Exhale, lower it down for table. Inhale, bring the right arm up towards the ceiling. Exhale, draw it under the left arm for thread the needle with the arms. So right shoulder comes down to the mat, head can rest on the mat, and then left arm extends to the front of the mat, palm facing down. So here, I like to use my left palm and my right shoulder pressing into the mat to get a little twist in the torso to feel a little more length. And in the shoulder too. Bring the left hand back under the left shoulder, press up to tabletop. Inhale, bring the left arm up. Exhale, draw it under the right arm, left shoulder to the mat, right arm extends. Press into the left shoulder, right hand. Maybe get a little more twist as you look under the right shoulder. And then bring the right hand back under the right shoulder, back, press into tabletop. Inhale, bring the right leg parallel to the mat. Exhale, bring the knee to the nose. Inhale, extend the leg, press through the heel. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. This time hold here, long line from the back of the head to the back of the heel. Just keep pressing into the hands, lifting the belly. Leg is parallel to the mat. One more inhale. Exhale, lower that leg down. Inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend and hold, equal weight in both hands. Shoulders and hips parallel to the mat. Press through that left heel. One more inhale. Exhale, lower the foot down. Tuck the toes, lift the hips for down dog. Inhale, come forward into plank. You can lower the knees if you need to. Exhale to down dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale to down dog. Inhale to plank. And exhale to down dog. And then walk the feet up to the hands, forward fold at the front of the mat. Inhale, lift the torso up halfway. Hands can be on shins or thighs. Exhale, fold back forward. Inhale, come all the way up, arms out to the sides. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, the arms up by the ears. Take the whole breath, nice and slow. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, heart center. Inhale, up. And exhale, heart center. Half sun salute. Inhale, the arms up. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold back forward. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step back for down dog. Couple breaths here. And slowly walk the feet up to the hands, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank this time. Lower the knees down. Shift the hips forward, hug the elbows in, come all the way to the belly. Inhale, lift the head and shoulders for Cobra. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift and hold this time. Pull the chest forward, so get length to lift. Maybe hands lift off the mat if you like. Take one more inhale. Exhale, lower down. Press up through table. And then take the hips to the heels, child's pose. Couple breaths. And walk the hands back to the knees, lift the chest, and cross over the shins. Come to seated with the soles of the feet together. So Baddha Konasana here. If it doesn't feel good like this, you could put blocks or blankets under your knees for a little support, but we won't be here for very long. You may feel enough of a stretch here. Otherwise, you can inhale, pull the chest up, and exhale, come forward, long spine. So try not to round in that back. Instead, pull the chest forward, long torso. That way you can really get the stretch in the hips instead of getting it in the back and the shoulders. On the inhales, pull the chest forward and get long. Exhales, maybe you soften just a tiny little bit. Always being really gentle. Inhale with a long spine, come all the way up. Extend the legs out straight for Dandasana. So sit up nice and tall on the sit bones. If you have a blanket, some people like to sit up on a blanket here. Feet are flexed, so legs are active. Shoulders over hips, head over shoulders. And you can have the hands next to you, but just make them light. So really working on the core here. It may not look like we're doing much, but I'm already feeling my core working, my back muscles working, spreading through the collarbones here. And then inhale, bring the arms up by the ears. Hold here. Keep pulling the belly in, lightly drawing the shoulder blades down, softening the shoulders. Inhale, reach through the fingertips. Exhale, bring the arms down by the sides and grab your strap. Take the strap around the balls of the feet and then draw the hands back so the upper arms are parallel to the torso. So from here, if you can keep your long spine, walk the hands towards the feet gently. You can take your time getting into this. So maybe you take a couple breaths here, just soft, starting to relax. Maybe you don't need the strap, maybe you can get to your feet without. Slowly moving into it. I like to come into it slowly because I kind of have tight hamstrings. Maybe the hands walk forward a little more, you start to feel a little more softening. Maybe you come into it a little more. Maybe at some point you get to the feet. Inhale with a long spine, come all the way up. And bend the right knee, bring the sole of the foot to the mat. stay nice and tall on the sit bones. It's easy to kind of round. So sit up tall, maybe the right foot goes towards the left foot to keep yourself nice and tall. And then inhale the left arm up by the ear. Exhale, twist to the right. You can hug the right knee. Right hand can come down behind you. You could take the cactus or goalpost arms, whatever feels most comfortable for you. But again, try not to round, keep pulling the chest and spreading through the collarbones. And notice if you're turning just your head and not your torso. If you are, take the head back a little towards the front. Try and get the twist in the torso first, then the head can look. And then turn the head back to center. Unwind, straighten that leg. Bend the left leg. Find the center of the sit bone. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale the right arm up by the ear. And exhale, either hug the knee or goalpost arms. Left hand to the mat behind you. Pulling the chest up. Spreading through the collarbones. And then turn the gaze forward, unwind, come up to the top of the mat, knees bent, soles of the feet on the mat, and just grab, actually, you know what, extend the arms out straight. Inhale, lift the chest, and exhale, very slowly start to roll yourself down. Take your time. Notice how the pelvis starts to tilt. Try and have slow, steady breath, trying not to hold the breath. Once you get down, hug the knees in. And rock from side to side. And then bring the legs back to center. Drop the feet down to the mat. If you have a block, you could take the block, lift the hips, put it under the sacrum, those two bony points. I don't have a block today, so I'm just gonna lay flat, but sometimes that feels nice just to get a little arch in the back. From here, wherever you are, especially if you're on the block, make sure you feel really supported by that block. And then if you're ready, you can lift the feet, excuse me, off the mat and then straighten the legs up. Feet will be facing the ceiling, legs are perpendicular to the mat, and arms can rest down by the sides. You could also do this up by a wall if you're more comfortable, but we won't be here for too long, so you could just stay on your mat. And then slowly bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet down to the mat. If you're on the block, make sure your feet feel really supported, and then press into the feet, lift the hips, take the block off to the side, and roll the hips down. And then hug the knees back into the chest. If you like, you could take happy baby, grab the outer edges of the feet or the big toes, and maybe rock from side to side. And then come back to stillness, hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself a big squeeze. If you like, you could lift the forehead to the knees and then lower the head back down. And then extend the legs straight out onto the mat, feet hips distance apart. Feet can just splay out comfortably. Arms by the sides, palms facing up, and eyes closed. Let your breath be natural. Let yourself relax from the top of the head down to the toes. Again, letting your body melt into the mat. Take this time to relax and to be still. And to be present in this moment. If this is hard for you, just notice the sensations. Notice the smells. Notice the sounds. Notice the temperature. And notice how your body feels as it relaxes and connects to the mat. You're welcome to stay here if you'd like. Otherwise, start to deepen the breath. And wiggle your fingers and toes. Circle the ankles and wrists. Reach the arms up overhead, stretch from fingers to toes. And roll off to your right side. Press into the left hand. Come up to a comfortable seated position, eyes closed, hands at heart center. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.